Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Fight Club, directed by David Fincher, of course. It's been a little bit since I posted the last one. I actually watched Fight Club the day after I watched In Bruges, but I don't know why it took me so long to write my review for it and film this. This is 2 weeks after I watched the movie, probably. You might have noticed that my intro was a little different. I didn't scratch it off. That's because I get 2 weeks ago I recorded me scratching it off, and I guess in those 2 weeks that footage got lost. I knew when I started this series, I was like, one day probably one of those scratch off clips is going to get erased somehow, and I'm going to have to deal with that. And I guess today was that day. So I don't know where that clip went. That was my little makeshift scratch off thing. Hope you liked it. Also, I got a haircut. Heyo, I got a buzz cut now, and I look like Slim Shady. That's all I have to say about me, though. As for the movie, Fight Club was a great movie. I loved it. I loved the grimy feel of it, especially Tyler's house. Just the whole movie had kind of just a grimy, gross aesthetic, and I really liked it. It was quite cool. All the characters were awesome, especially the main three. The narrator, as he's officially called, Tyler Durden, and what's her name? Marla, Helena Bonham Carter's character. Especially Tyler Durden, Brad Pitt especially stands out. I mean, he steals the show. He's Brad Pitt. I love him. Brad Pitt's the highlight of this movie. I love him in everything he does, and he was just incredible in this movie. He definitely was the best part of this movie by far. I even look like Tyler Durden a little bit right now. Am I right? At the beginning, the movie takes a little bit to pick up. It's just pretty much Edward Norton at the beginning for, I don't know, 25 minutes? Kind of pretty much just introducing his life. And then you meet Helena Bonham Carter, but it takes a little bit to pick up. I like the beginning, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But once you actually meet Tyler Durden / Brad Pitt, that's when the movie really starts to pick up. As I said, he was my favorite part of the movie. So once he was introduced, and once the actual Fight Club starts to get formed, the whole idea of the actual Fight Club is just so cool. And I really like how you don't talk about Fight Club as a cultural thing. Everyone knows it. Even people who haven't seen the movie have heard of you don't talk about Fight Club. I just think that's pretty cool that that's a thing. And just the whole idea of the actual Fight Club is really interesting too. I just liked watching people beat the crap out of each other almost half to death. It was quite enjoyable to watch. May I say. Surprisingly, the actual Fight Club wasn't really the main focus of the movie. There was probably I don't know, but 5 actual scenes of the actual Fight Club where they're actually fighting. Most of the movie pretty much revolves around Edward Norton and Brad Pitt's relationship, and pretty much just revolves around Edward Norton's character's mental health just completely rotting and him just having his life destroyed around him. It was some good stuff. The twist didn't really surprise me. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. Don't watch this part, but if you have, keep watching. It didn't really surprise me at all. Throughout the entire movie, there's big hints that Tyler is pretty much is the narrator. You see Edward Norton talking, and then it cuts to Brad Pitt downstairs mouthing the exact same words as Edward Norton. And when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, so they're the same person. That's cool. Got it. But then towards the actual very end, it treats it as a big reveal, some big twist that they're the same person now, and I was just like, I knew that. It's pretty obvious. I thought you were making it pretty clear throughout the whole film that they were the same person, but I guess not. It was a big twist, but it didn't really catch me by surprise. I still think it's cool, but it really didn't feel like a big reveal. I saw it coming. In my opinion, just overall, this movie is a little bit overrated. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I still loved it, obviously. It was great, but it didn't live up to the hype that I heard so much about. But again, it was still great stuff. I would definitely re-watch it. I own it on Blu-ray, so I can watch it anytime I want. I'll definitely re-watch it sometime in the future, and I think probably on a re-watch, my opinion might be higher of the movie. I might like it more. For now, though, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but again, I think it is a little bit overrated. If you haven't seen it, check it out. That's about all I have to say. By the way, I also have an album poster now. It's really crappy, actually. I scratched it off, and the metal stuff, or the gray foily stuff, just does not come off at all. It's horrible. It's really bad quality. I don't know what's wrong. The same company made the 2 posters, but I don't know. If you wanna see me scratch them off, I'm not doing a YouTube series, but it's on my Instagram at kvn.roy. So follow me there. But that's about all I have to say for this review. Like the video if you liked the video. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. I'm watching Good, the Bad, and the Ugly next, so look forward to that review. But until then, peace out. Bow.